last, London's fashionable set has made its return. And it seems that our bon ton is moving with the changing tide. So, too, is this author.
I cannot live at home any longer. I must take a husband.
Does my lady have a suitor in mind?
Is that her brother?
Colin?
There it is, Bridgerton, the show we are all talking about as we eagerly await part 2, which will drop on Netflix June 13th. This season has all eyes on Penelope and Colin, who are played by the always fashionable Nicola Coughlan and Luke Newton, who are here today. Welcome to Breakfast Television.
Thank you. Oh.
Wow.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. It is truly wonderful to have you here. I mean, everyone is talking about this show, and everyone is talking about the two of you. So your characters are now the center of this season. Yeah. Did you know that was going to be happening when you started back with the show? How does that feel?
Imagine if we didn't. We arrived on set day one. We were like, wait, what? What? There's so many lines.
No, we didn't know that we'd ever get to our season. You know, when you sign up to a job like this, it's very rare that you continue to do year after year. So when we got the call during season 2 and they sort of said, you're up next, it was a little bit of that, wasn't it?
Definitely terrifying.
Yeah.
The hearts are beating.
Yeah, for
well,
sure.
I mean, the hearts are beating for you two everywhere. People are shipping it nonstop. I mean, how does it feel like, you know, you're part of this very successful show, but now there's so many eyes on you two off camera as well. That's got to be a different experience as you navigate the world in terms of your personal lives. How does that feel like?
Yeah.
It's intense, it's you know, but I think we both quite like to switch off when we're not sort of in work mode, and we like to live a pretty normal,
I think
boring
also
life.
you've had that before, like with other jobs. So I'm learning from you.
A little bit with Dairy
like,
Girls, but the scale of Bridgerton is. There was like 2 million people watched Dairy Girls. I was like, wow, that's loads. And then 82 million people watched Bridgerton in the first month that the show came out. And I was like, that is more. That is, to be fair, that is more.
That is factually more.
Yes.
And just so much talk of the two of you.
Oh.
Like, are you just finding it sweet, or is it like, can you just leave us be? We're just friends, or how?
We enjoy it. Oh yeah, we adore one another. Like someone was like, God, you're lucky because you're doing such a long press tour with him. Like, I wouldn't do a press tour this long with him if I didn't like it. Like, there's no way.
It's been like a shared experience that we've had, like shooting it, but then also, we left on January the 4th to start promoting the show. We've been doing it pretty much this whole time. We've got to see some amazing places and just like meet fans in person. Like it's such a beautiful thing. Yeah,
you're like the Beatles of Bridgerton. You're everywhere, all over. Let's talk about these characters though, because that idea of a style transformation, I mean, it happened. That she's all that moment. It happened, right? So were you a part of that? How did you feel about it? I mean, Sexy Pirate is lobbied around. How did it feel from your perspective?
Yeah, it was really cool. Like going into our first fittings, it really told us so much about what to expect as we go throughout the show. And like, the costume department wanted to create like a Colin's wardrobe that I could dip in and out to throughout the whole season. And yeah, just really, I mean, look at his new get-up. I love it.
I mean, we can woohoo for that. That's sleeve. That's sleeve. And I mean, you, Nicola, I often say, I mean, I'm a fashion girly, and I feel like style is access to the possibility of who you are.
Yeah, oh, that's beautifully phrased.
Do you feel like Penelope got access to more of who she was this season?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I think what I love about her aesthetic makeover is that it's who she's always wanted to be. It's who she sees herself as. She never fit in the Featherington bright colours, and she's such a romantic, so she wanted to wear all this soft, muted colours, and you feel so different when you're dressed so differently, so I loved it.
And so many people, I shared that you're both coming on the show, and I mean, the outpouring of Canadian love for both of you is really visceral.
That's so
and
gorgeous.
So many people are seeing themselves in you. Do you take strength in that? I mean, this business can be tough, for the fans, and really seeing themselves in your characters in a way on screen that they haven't felt seen before. Did that play a role in how you just take up space in the world?
I don't know if it did. I think always my focus is just doing a really good job at the work, and then everything else you can't control. So you just kind of have to go with it. And I think we were lucky that we were such a team in this, and we had each other. So we really loved the show, wanted to do a good job. So if you put your all into that, because people will take whatever out of it, you know? Like someone once said to me, like, oh, it's really sad that she's, given up the Featherington colours that she loved. I was like, no, she never loved that. Yeah, people will always take whatever they're going to take, but you just have to do your best.
Yeah, this is a team effort. This is a duo, kind of on and off, which I love. It's morning television. but the carriage scene. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I just want to say the carriage scene in front of your faces because that. I mean, I'm still getting over it myself. That was some good work.
Thank you.
Go like this. I'm just gonna go like this.
We appreciate it.
Any statement on that?
I didn't really get a sense of what the reaction was going to be like. I mean, like we'd had conversations about it before, but it's really, it's kind of blown us away. But also, there's so much more to come in part 2.
So much more.
And like we really get into it, and other characters and other storylines. Like there's just so much more.
We just saw the trailer for part 2. It's just dropped.
Yeah.
It's so good.
So good.
Because part 2 is really exciting.
Yeah.
It amps up so
Obviously, we start
much.
at such a dramatic place. So,
I know.
We're going to do no spoilers. Don't worry, BT viewers watching right now. But speaking of part 2, it does drop June 13th on Netflix.
Yes.
Any tease? I mean, if you're saying it's hotter than the carriage scene, I might need some assistance while
a lot
watching
less
this
clothes
show.
in part 2.
Less clothes in part 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
More, so there are
More
a few
intimate.
encounters that are similar to carriage, I would
little
say. Maybe we turn the dial up a little bit on that, I think. Yeah.
Well, I mean, set match. We are ready for
The
that.
champagne has been smashed on the ship, so we're good to go.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Well, thank you both so much for being here this morning. Truly, it's a great show, and you two are fabulous in it. And again, keep taking up space the way you are because you're changing the game. And,
Thank you very much.
As a fan, really appreciate it.